Hello YouTube, welcome back to Baldman Building an Airplane. Today we start what is probably the longest section of the plans for a Van's aircraft, specifically for a tip-up canopy. The canopy frame and canopy itself is a long process. You've got an aluminum structure that you have to build that has to fit the rest of the airplane. And then you have to, it has to be able to move. Okay, sure. Yeah, your tailplanes move, right? Your elevator moves, your rudder moves, your flaps, your ailerons, your control surfaces, they all move. But do they seal nicely? It doesn't matter, right? Air flows over them, air flows past them. It doesn't matter if they're a little bit drafty on the inside. The canopy, however, you got to keep the wind out of there. You got to make sure the pilots can fly this darn thing. So you got to keep a windscreen in place. So the canopy is a complicated piece of kit when it's all said and done. I don't even know the number of hours I put into the canopy. I could look it up. I probably should before the end of all these videos. But the frame alone was a really long process. You build like a front section, and you build like that goes like over top of the instrument panel, and then you build some rails that go rearward toward the roll bar that we just completed, and then you build like a sort of canopy style or part of the canopy that goes roll bar situation where it goes up against the roll bar. Now what you see here, that's the top skin, and that is basically the glare shield, which goes over top of the instrument panel. It's a lot of stuff. And you look at it and you're like, okay, cool, it's one section. Shouldn't be a problem, right? Well, yeah, it's a long thing. So what we're doing here is we're putting together brackets. These brackets have a bushing in them, and they attach with a 1/4-inch pin through each of those bushings. You see those holes that are on like the sort of nose of those brackets. A 1/4-inch pin goes through there, and that's what the canopy sort of rotates on as it tips upward and forward so that you can get in and out of the airplane. There's a little notch in the bottom of there. You can kind of see that rests on another piece, and between the notch and the 1/4-inch pin that goes through, the whole thing goes together. Now this is interesting. We dimple this prior to doing initial assembly. So this is one of those pieces that you wouldn't think it, but if you just built it the way you'd build anything else, you'd probably do it wrong. Vans specifically, like, they pre-dimple some things. They're like, do this, do this, do this, and do this in this order. And actually, I think there's actually a couple of call-outs that basically say, do these things in this order, or you will regret it later. So, of course, they put the fear of God into you that you're going to like mess everything up if you don't do it the way they say that you should do it. Also, yes, that is a microwave in my garage. During or just before I started this canopy process, we were having our kitchen redone. So, and that's why there was an oven in the basement on one of the previous videos as well. Whatever. Yeah, so it is very, very much following the directions, and we're going to build sort of this skeleton of the canopy all at once, to sort of like put it together as an initial fit. It's not even like difficult per se, and it's not like we put it together and we match drill like 2 holes. Well, we do a little bit of that. But in most cases, you put something together, you match drill some holes, you take it back apart, you dimple the thing, and then you assemble it. In this case, it was put it together, mark some stuff, I think, and then you go back and flute it to make sure it fits right. It was really kind of an out of order situation compared to what you'd normally do in building. Anyway, so I opened up the plans, and the plans specify that you do this stuff because of 2 things. Number one, the stiffeners, ribs, they come pre-dimpled, so you got to dimple the skin to attach them. Number 2, it was just to flute them and make sure that the holes all line up. So yeah, that's about it for this one. Come back next time. We're going to start assembling the brackets onto those ribs and do some weird riveting geometry. See you then.